The longfin eel is endemic to New Zealand, and there is a very fast dwindling population, mostly due to commercial fishing and habitat loss. When I talk about eels, people have no idea what I'm talking about. They're totally taken for granted, and the idea of having a sanctuary is quite controversial to most people. When I researched them, I found that they were as endangered as the great spotted kiwi. And I started thinking, if the great spotted kiwi have so much protection, why don't the eels? So that was what gave me the idea to start the Eel Sanctuary and to get the message out to people. So this tapestry, or this is part of it, it went down to Parliament with a submission against the commercial fishing of the eels. The idea was initiated by Stephanie Bowman, who was a tourist from Canada, and she first came to New Zealand thinking it was an amazing green place. She came back and she started seeing all the signs about do not swim in this lake, it's too polluted. So she heard about the eels, she decided that she would come back and she'd start this big protest. So she sewed the head and the tail, and she encouraged people to make the middle section, so a lot of schools and kindergartens, community groups, and it's been all around the country.
Just about complete. Tilde, thanks heaps for letting me do this. It's been really cool.
Thank you so much.
If you could just put the eyes in for the kaitiaki. The kaitiaki is about your job, not mine. So that's why you're going to bring that vision forward, because it was your vision in the beginning. It's strange because, our children are the ones that teach us. So it's all yours, mate. The story of Awaawaroa is throughout Aotearoa has many different types of dialect and understanding. In Ngāti Hine, it's believed that Awaawaroa was married to, he had children to Hine Terepo, who was a swamp maiden. He had two sons, Mere Mere and Atatahi, which that was their names, and they became the morning star and the evening star, which is what is depicted in this carving. Carving symbolises the potential energy and the movement of what we're trying to put out there. It's our book, it's our language, it's our orative that speaks for itself. The illusions that we've tried to create in it touch on stories and symbolise the greatness that was. The introduction of man, it's changed the dynamic of how we look at things. They're not as treasured and looked upon as much as they used to be. So in taking on this take, or this job of carving this carving, it was my pleasure to represent not only the people of this valley, but the people of my people, to tell the story of Awaawaroa and his sons and his upcomings. And I think the moral of the story is if, like mankind or like Maui, how he did things to show us the right and the wrong ways of doing things, that we need to think more deeply and spiritually about the taonga or the treasures that we have in our rivers. So what's here is a small part of a bigger story that depicts movement, being the water or the puna or waimodi. The water is the important part of this carving. The rest of it is just to show you things that we've seen, things like the shape of the eel, the hauraki style of the kaitiaki that are here in the Gulf.
So I'm Matt Bloxham and I work as a freshwater scientist for local government, and find today very exciting actually, this whole idea of starting an eel sanctuary. It's something that you don't see a lot of. It's quite a new thing, it's sort of a wee bit cutting edge. And the beauty of having a sanctuary for eels is that of course they've been pretty hard hit over the years by all sorts of things, eel fishes, but also habitat loss and that sort of thing. And I think that Rob's sort of idea behind this was to actually create an area where they could be free from all those pressures. The two major species are longfins and shortfins, and shortfins are by and large far more common. They seem to have been sort of a bit more successful at exploiting lowland habitat, where eels are more ubiquitous. They're found through all the different fisheries, fish guilds all over the show, so that you'll find eels right from low elevation habitat all the way inland, and they'll penetrate a long way inland because of their ability to actually climb. They're incredible, sort of very determined climbers, and so they'll extend a long way inland. Eels have quite a remarkable life history. They start off as when they first reach New Zealand shores, they start off as glass eels, and then when the timing is right, they'll spend the first part of their life inside the estuarine parts of the environment. And you can see here, this is such a fantastic staging ground for them as juveniles. And then when the time is right, then they'll start to feed and they'll start to push up into the higher elevation habitat. The really nice thing about this fantastic area here is that it covers everything right from the low elevation habitat right to the headwaters. So all the habitat there that they'll ever need is here.
I first got interested in eels at my grandparents' holiday house up north near Mangawhai. They have a stream running past full of native fish and eels. We used to get meat from the butcher on the way up. Over a few days you could get to know one really well, and they'd come swimming up as soon as you got there.
They hold a sort of a funny place in everybody's hearts. I guess eels, for a lot of people, tend to conjure up images of fear and loathing because they have those serpent-like features with their wee nostrils and stuff. They do look a bit spooky, and because of their size, but they are pretty amazing creatures. Yeah.
C'est quoi ton nom?
Cole Princess.
T'as quel âge?
Qu'est-ce que ça peut te faire?
Tu veux un cachou?
Non merci, je ne suis pas très drogue. J'ai fumé du pot, c'est marrant mais ça rend pas causant. C'est comme l'op, tu sais?
Non, je sais pas.
J'ai tâté du kiff aussi. Bof, il y a toujours ces hippies, je supporte pas. Ils sont là à traîner, ils sentent vraiment mauvais. Moi je vis dans un monde vert et mauve toute la journée. Quand j'ouvre les yeux, c'est...
Tu veux un cachou?
Non merci, je ne suis pas très drogue.